Once upon a time, in a busy American city filled with endless traffic and restless ambition, lived a young woman named Tiko. On the surface, she looked like someone chasing beauty and confidence, but beneath that desire was a dangerous obsession. Tiko craved luxury wigs she could never afford, and instead of working for them, she chose a darker path. Tiko owned more wigs than most women in her neighborhood, expensive, human hair wigs that turned heads wherever she went. But none of them were bought with her money. Every single one had been stolen directly off another woman's head. Still, no matter how many wigs she owned, it was never enough. Her hunger for more only grew stronger. To satisfy her obsession, Tiko pressured her boyfriend, Jide, into committing the crimes for her. Jide was a delivery rider, hardworking but struggling financially. He loved Tiko deeply, too deeply to see that she was using him. To him, pleasing her felt like proof of love. Tiko, however, had no real love for Jide. She kept him around for convenience while entertaining other men who paid rent, bought shoes, and funded her lifestyle. Jide's role was different. He was the one sent into danger, snatching wigs from unsuspecting women on the streets. Every time Jide brought home a new wig, Tiko's affection grew sweeter. She smiled, praised him, and whispered words that made him feel valued. Those moments erased his guilt and fear, pushing him back onto the streets again and again. Soon, wig snatching became routine. Women screamed, some chased after him, others stood frozen in shock as he sped away with years of their savings clenched in his hand. Jide noticed their pain, but he ignored it. All that mattered was Tiko's smile. One evening, as the sun dipped low, Jide spotted a woman walking calmly by the roadside. Her wig was unlike any he had ever seen, long, thick, and impossibly shiny. Something inside him warned him to stop. But Tiko's voice echoed in his mind, "If you love me, you'll find a way." In one swift move, Jide snatched the wig and sped away. Strangely, the woman did not scream or chase him. Instead, she laughed a slow, hollow laugh that sent chills down his spine. Jide rushed to Tiko's house and handed her the wig. Her excitement was uncontrollable. Without asking questions, she placed it on her head. The moment it touched her scalp, the lights flickered, the air turned icy, and a violent wind filled the room. Tiko screamed as sharp pain shot through her head. The wig refused to come off. Jide staggered backward as a strange cold wrapped around him. He looked down and realized his hands were fading. He was disappearing. Jide tried to touch Tiko, but his hands passed through her like smoke. Panic consumed him. He wasn't just invisible, he was detached from reality, trapped between worlds. Tiko clawed at the wig, screaming in agony. She tried scissors. They snapped. She tried a blade. It bent. The hair began merging into her scalp as if it belonged there. Desperate, Tiko demanded Jide, take her back to where the wig was stolen. Though no one else could see him, she still could. When they arrived, the street was empty, silent, except for the wind. In that moment, Jide remembered his sick mother. Her medication had run out. He begged Tiko to help him buy it with the money in her house. She laughed bitterly and refused, saying his mother was not her responsibility. Jide rushed home, invisible and helpless, and watched his mother struggle for breath. No one could hear his screams. By the time help arrived, it was too late. She died before his eyes. At the hospital, Jide became visible again, just in time to hear the doctors pronounce his mother dead. He collapsed, consumed by regret, realizing that blind love had cost him everything. Tiko searched desperately for help. Doctors examined her but found nothing wrong. Some believed she was delusional. Finally, she turned to a spiritual healer. The healer revealed the truth. The wig belonged to an ancient spirit of vanity, a force that punished greed and stolen beauty. The hair was never meant to be worn. By taking it, Jide and Tiko had crossed a line. The only way to undo the curse, the healer said, was for Jide to willingly make a sacrifice. If he refused, Tiko would live in endless pain, and everything she loved would be taken from her. As Tiko left in terror, memories flooded her mind, how she used Jide, how she rejected him when he needed her most. For the first time, she understood the cost of vanity, greed, and love without conscience. Tiko did not know what to do next. A few minutes later, she arrived at Jide's house, only to meet a crowd gathered outside. Their faces were heavy with silence. Someone finally spoke and told her the truth. Jide had gone to sleep the night before and never woke up. He died shortly after mourning his mother, who had passed away days earlier. No one knew exactly how it happened. Some whispered that grief broke his heart. Others believed he took his own life. Whatever the truth was, one thing was certain: Jide was gone. The moment Tiko heard the words, her legs gave way and she collapsed to the ground. Her ears rang as the world spun violently around her. "Dead?" she whispered in disbelief. No, Jide can't be dead." She screamed his name over and over until her voice cracked and her throat burned. That was the moment reality finally hit her. The only man who could save her was gone, and she knew she was the reason. Broken and filled with regret, Tiko returned home. Memories haunted her the night Jide begged her to help buy his mother's medication, the cold refusal she gave him, the way she turned her back without hesitation. For years, he had obeyed her every demand. The one time he needed her, she failed him. Lost in her thoughts, Tiko walked slowly down the road, her head throbbing. Suddenly, a man rushed toward her and yanked the wig off her head. She screamed as pain shot through her body, but before she could react, the thief vanished into the night. For a moment, Tiko stood frozen. Then she realized something unbelievable. The pain was gone. No tightening, no burning, no cold wind. The wig was gone. She touched her bare scalp again and again. For the first time in months, she laughed a shaky, broken laugh filled with relief. That night, as she slept, Tiko found herself standing in the middle of a dark, endless ocean. From beneath the still water, a woman emerged dressed in white, eyes glowing faintly. Her long, living hair floated around her like it had a will of its own. The woman marked Tiko's space with a strange symbol and whispered words she could not understand. Tiko woke up gasping for air, drenched in sweat. Her face tingled. Before she could process the dream, her phone began to buzz. One by one, messages came in. Every man who once funded her lifestyle ended things. No explanations, no mercy, all of them gone. That was when Tiko understood the truth. The curse was still active. The hair was never the real punishment. What was taken from her was desire, pride, and the life she built on other people's sacrifices. Weeks turned into months. Tiko tried everything to attract attention again: new clothes, new perfume, new confidence. She went to events, posted pictures online, joined dating apps, but it was as if she no longer existed. Men looked straight through her like she was invisible. One evening, while sitting alone in despair, Tiko heard a pastor speaking on television. His calm words pierced her heart. He spoke of forgiveness, restoration, and a peace that could not be stolen. Something inside her finally broke. Tiko fell to her knees and cried out to God, confessing everything: her greed, her pride, her cruelty, and the life she destroyed. She ran to the church mentioned on the broadcast, entered without shame, and poured out her soul. As prayers were said over her, a heavy weight lifted. Peace replaced the emptiness. For the first time in a long while, Tiko felt free. She gave her life to Christ and began rebuilding her life the right way. Tiko now shares her story openly, warning others not to chase comfort through shortcuts or manipulation. She learned the hard way that happiness built on another person's pain never lasts. The lesson is simple: greed, pride, and stolen joy always come with a price. True peace cannot be taken, forced, or worn like a wig. It must be earned through integrity, compassion, and gratitude, or it will slip away, leaving only regret behind.